Coach, kind of similar ways the two games against Orlando kind of unfold, especially the second and third quarters. That's when they establish themselves. What did you see in the second and third quarters?
Well, they're a big team. They got in the paint, got to the free throw line. They made some shots, and we battled the guys. It came down to the last, couple minutes of the game. But we once again, you look at the third quarter and 21 points. It goes back to putting together a full 48 minutes.
Can you describe what happened at the end of the game? I know frustrations were boiling over, but you had three guys thrown out of the ballgame.
Yeah, our frustration, like you said, Graf, it boiled over, and we have to keep our composure. Look, I get it. Some calls aren't going our way. We feel like other teams are getting those calls, and our guys are frustrated about it, rightfully so. And I'm okay with battling, and there's some times where guys get attacked here and there, but at the end of the game, we have to keep our composure. Game's over, pretty much, and we got to take it. We lost. We got to be able to take that sometimes.
You brought up the offense in the third quarter. Just what do you feel like you guys could have done better in that quarter to put some more points up?
Yeah, we got to create some stops, first and foremost, and then capitalize on our opportunities to get out and play in the open floor. But they did a great job of packing the paint on Zion, making us take tough shots, and then they hit a few big threes to start that quarter, and that got them on a run.
Yeah, why do you think the 3-point attempts were kind of low again tonight?
They're one of the best defenses in the league, and that's what they do. They do a great job of taking away your paint opportunities, and they close out extremely hard to your shooter. So they make you put the ball on the floor, and that's what they did tonight.
I don't think Z played in the final 7 minutes. Is he okay physically? Just what do you see there?
He had something going on with his finger. I'm not quite sure what it is at the moment, but we'll have an update for you guys soon.
Was that the reason he left the game initially, or was that something related to the what's it, Gary Harris that went into his legs?
He left the game originally because something was going on with his finger. I'm not sure exactly what the diagnosis is at the moment, but I'm hoping he's okay, and like I said, we'll have an update for you guys shortly.
What are your thoughts just on the state of the team right now? Losing 4 of the last 5 during this homestand we've talked about, and kind of just the way the game ended with frustrations being as high as they were.
This is exactly that. It's frustrating, but this is a part of it. It's not going to be easy to go where we want to go, and this is a part of the NBA journey. Is that we put ourselves in an unbelievably good position, but we have to run through the tape. And I think we got 6 games left. We got to put it together, and that's the deal for us. But it's definitely frustrating losing some of these games. I know we want to be better, and we will, but right now we got to regroup, keep our heads up, and continue to go after it. The season, got 6 games left, so that's the deal for us.
How high was the level of concern just because of the fact that they were just a more physical team for most of the night? They used their physicality throughout the game, and it seemed like y'all had a hard time kind of responding to that.
Yeah, we knew that going in. They're a big physical team, and they pride themselves on being able to rebound, keep teams out of the paint defensively. They're good defense. They're long. They're active. But it boils down to the same thing that's been happening in the last few games is trying to put together a 48-minute game or in the 40s will give us a better chance to win. And we had that one quarter where, we couldn't score, and they scored 33 points.
I think Larry also left the game at some point. Wasn't playing in the fourth. What was going on with him?
He was a little under the weather today.
Coach, heading into the postseason, you want to be playing your best basketball. What do you feel like this team has to do to get to that level?
Keep staying steady through adversity. Simple. Do what we do. Come in. We'll watch film. We'll have a good practice. And you get back on the floor and you do it again.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
The Gary Harris dive into your legs. I mean, obviously, did not look like a fun sequence. I mean, for you, how do you just handle like extreme?
Next question.
The third quarter, I think, was where they created a lot of the separation. Just what did you see in the third there?
Kind of going back to what I had said kind of in the Boston game. Not only did they pick up their physicality, but they executed. We tried to match it, but offensively we didn't execute and run our stuff with force.
Yeah, and I mean, more to that, what you just see on the offensive end, I guess, besides force, if anything?
We got to attack the gaps. I don't think we're attacking the gaps with a purpose. I think we're going, but we're not doing it with a purpose. For us, we call it 0.5 decision, and we just got to just do that a lot better.
What's your feel just on the state of the team right now after losing 4 of the last 5? Big home stand and just the frustration building at the end of this game.
It is frustrating, but I've said it before. The beauty in the NBA is you got a game either the next day or the day after. So, I always tell myself on the court and off the court, don't panic, because when people panic, it causes other people to want to panic. So, no, there's no need for us to panic. We just got to come with a higher level of focus into these next few games. But like I always say, one game at a time.
And I know you talked about execution, but how much do you think just matching their physicality was an issue tonight as well?
You just got to be physical. I mean, at the end of the day, we got to be physical. They called a foul, they call it, but I'd rather us make the refs call it than not try to match it.
You left the game with the finger issue. I guess how is it feeling? And was there? Did you feel like you would have been able to play at the end if they put you back in?
I don't want to dive too deep into that question because I don't want to say anything that's not right, to be honest. But yeah, I tweaked it a little bit. I'll have more information on it tomorrow morning. I think I'm gonna get it looked at and go from there.
Z, did you hurt that finger on that dunk attempt in the fourth quarter?
Earlier in the game, he got hit a few times, but when I went for the block on Suggs, I kind of went with force and just banged it against the backboard really hard.
6 games left. What do you guys have to do to make this playoff push a success?
Like I said, we have to have a higher level of focus. We just do. Spoke on it a lot throughout the year, but at a certain point, I just can't keep speaking on it. We got to make it happen. If we want to be one of those contenders, we got to get wins, even in tough games like this. We got to figure out how to get a win.
As you know these guys, I mean, your teammates, obviously, but you feel like y'all have what it takes to kind of fight out of this?
Absolutely. Going to practice tomorrow and make sure energy is high. Make sure nobody's tripping over what happened. Because like I say, you can't panic. There's no need to panic. We just have to have higher level of focus and take it one game at a time.
And obviously, the frustration was high at the end, but I mean, how surprising was it to see 3 guys, get tossed basically in 5 seconds?
So I had already got to the locker room, so I didn't even get to see it happen. But coach spoke to us about that. I don't know if he shared it, so I don't want to speak too much on it. But I think that's something we just got to talk about internally as a team.
Thanks, Z.
Probably. You guys have a great night.
Yeah, for you, in the fourth quarter, did it feel like anything changed to allow you to get into a little bit of rhythm there or anything like that?
No, I was just more decisive, made some open shots, created a little bit more space. But, I mean, I had some great looks in the first half. I missed 2 floaters in and out, 2 threes in and out. It happens. I got to get off to better starts. But I think for us, collectively, we were just more aggressive. Got to be aggressive throughout the game and sense of urgency. You need a sense of urgency earlier in the games, and I think that'll be the difference for us going forward.
Yeah, for you guys, this is a second game in a row with a pretty low three-point attempts. I think you guys were under 30. Was there anything they were doing tonight to just like limit you guys from the arc?
I mean, they're a good defensive team. I think they're rated the second best defensive team in the NBA. So, like, they make you play in the yard. They load up on the paint, and they close out well. They do a good job of playing well out of scrambles. And some of it was us missing shots. Some of it was them just playing good defense. But I think, these last 6 games we're playing against good teams. Good defensive teams. They got good offense. They got, star power. So, we're not going to get open looks all the time. It becomes more of a half-court game, and that's why it's really important you get stops and then you can get out and run in transition to be more free.
Obviously, guys are going to be pissed about losing, but how would you assess just where the guys are right now? Does this kind of feel different than some of the lows y'all experienced early in the season?
I mean, we got 45 wins with 6 games left. It's not the end of the world. We would have liked to win more games at home during this homestand. We would like to have clinched the playoffs already. But if you would have told me we got 6 games left before the playoffs start, so we got a way to control our own destiny, I would have said, I'll take that. So, I mean, you got to look at it 2 ways, right? We got to be better, obviously. We got to get back to the basics, but it's also, not the end of the world. We lost some games that we feel like we should have won, but still games left to be played. We still have a say in how this season is going to finish up for us, and we still have control over how we play, and hopefully we can get some wins and lock in this playoff seed.
Does it feel like there's something that's kind of connected these losses that y'all need to address, whether it be offensively or just focus or execution? Do you think there's something like bigger picture y'all need to address?
I mean, the game just ended. I haven't even watched the game yet, so I'll have to watch the game. But, I mean, we gave up 117 points. We had, 7 technicals, so that's 7 free throws. That's 110, and that's not a bad defense tonight. Gave up 26 in the fourth, a lot of technical free throws. We was in a bonus early in the first quarter. So we just got to do a better job of guarding smarter. We guard well, but we got to guard smarter. Getting in foul trouble early, getting them in the bonus early makes it harder to play defense. But, I mean, that second quarter we gave up 34 points and gave up 33 in the third. And that was the difference in the game, really. So we got to be better defensively. And I think from an offensive standpoint, continuing to play 0.5, getting downhill. I had, 4 turnovers. So I think it's the little stuff, right? Like, I can't control me making or missing shots. I get my work in every day. I watch film. I pride myself on being prepared, but I can control 4 turnovers. So I think it's about us just figuring out collectively, individually, how can we be better for our team? How can we control some of those things? And, making and missing shots is a part of the game, but we got to be better at the things that we can actually control.
And what was kind of the reactions to seeing 3 guys tossed at the end of the game, back to back to back like that?
Yeah, that was tough. This is an emotional game. Everything, that happened probably shouldn't have happened, but we got to be better. And I think some of it was questionable ejection. I don't know what Trey said. I think Trey said something, but then I was by Dyson when Dyson got thrown out. I don't think that he should have been ejected for that. For what we said, he didn't say a curse word or anything. He just agreed with what Trey said, and he threw him out. So I was like, that's kind of tough. I think, they obviously wanted to get control of the game, but it's 7 seconds left now. Like, the deed is done. Let the game end and let us go home. But we got to be better. It's a growth moment for us to learn. You got to win with class. You got to lose with class, and it's a part of it. And obviously, we was all frustrated. We all wanted to win, but credit them. They played well, and they beat us.
CJ, do you feel like some of the frustrations came from stuff that happened earlier in the game? Like, for instance, I think Gary Harris may have slipped, but he still took Z out from underneath his feet.
Yeah, I mean, it looked dirty, but I know G. We all know G. He's not a dirty player, but it looked bad, and I fouled sucks, and I'm sure it looks bad. But we all just trying to compete and trying to win at the end of the day. We're gonna protect each other and protect our teammates and do what we can to win the game. And you know, I don't necessarily think that was the issue. I think it was a collective 48 minutes of inconsistencies throughout the game, where I think that causes frustration sometimes because. Since what, January or February, like the game has been referee different, right? Like, I mean, it's no secret. It's the least amount of free throw attempts per game since 1930, 1940, since before it was the NBA. So the game is being refereed differently, right? So we've adjusted to that. And then you have a game like tonight where they're calling fouls like it's pre-January. So it's just confusing. And I think that's the frustration and the frustrating part is like, yo, we've been guarding like this for like 20 games, and these aren't fouls, you know, for those 20 games we played, and now these are fouls, and then we get guarded the same way, and it's like it's just confusion. I think we just got to get a better understanding of how the game's going to be called every night, because tonight was different than how it's been. Like, I shot 11 free throws. I went 5 games, and I shot 3 free throws through 5 games. I had multiple 5-game stretches where I wouldn't shoot free throws for 3 or 4 games. If I'm shooting the ball 20 times a night, somebody's hitting me at some point, right? So I think that's why we were just a little confused with how the game was being officiated tonight.
See, a lot of younger guys on the roster. Are you pretty confident that mentally they're able to fight through this?
Yeah, we'll be fine, man. We'll be fine. We know what needs to be done. They here for a reason.